So again, we are in chapter 11, section 5, and this is dividing a polynomial by a monomial. Yeah, normally I do this during fourth period.
Why are you doing it now?
So that it's up on the website sooner, as opposed to the next day. Most of your notes this semester are available on Canvas as video or PDF.
What's PDF?
Yeah. Picture document file or something like that, I don't know. All right. We're going to go back to when you were in elementary school for a second, and you learned how to do things like take 2/7 and add, say, 3/7. It is 5/7. Now, there's a step in the middle that you never, ever do because it's pointless. But we're going to put it in today, just so you can see something. So, we do know, of course, that the answer is 5/7. But in the middle, you have 2 plus 3 over 7. Now, I know that seems like a pointless thing to write, and it is at this level, right? But here's kind of where we're at and what we're going to be doing. We, today, are going to be starting here with this information, and I'm going to go back to this. I know. Okay. Are we ready? Let's do this. So, party foul. There we go. Okay. So, we are going to start with a problem like 2x plus 4 and put it all over x. Now, we're going to divide. And here's what's going to happen. We are going to take this, and we are going to break it apart. We're going to turn it back into the two separate things that were added together to get what we have. Which means that what I'm doing is I am going to have 2x over x plus 4 over x. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Does everyone see how we got there? Okay, so all that happens now is you reduce as much as possible. And so for this particular problem, we wind up with 2 plus 4 over x.
Wouldn't that just be 2 next to the 4 over x?
No.
No? Okay.
No. See, in this section back here, the x's will cancel out, right? Leaving me with just a 2. And then the 4 and the x, nothing can happen there. So I'm left with the 4 over x. So far so good? Okay. So let's take a gander at slightly more interesting problems. So here we go. Let's take, that's a very astute observation. Let's take b squared plus 12b minus 14. And let's divide that by 3b. Which means that I will end up with b squared plus 12b minus 14 all over 3b. That's what that means. We can then separate that, right, into b squared over 3b plus 12b over 3b. And?
Minus 14 over 3b.
Correct. Minus 14 over 3b. Now we simplify as much as possible. And in the first piece, the b and the b squared will cancel, leaving me with b on top. Yes? Okay, that gives me my first term as b over 3. Now I'm going to add, and what comes next is the b's cancel. The 3 and the 12 reduce down to
4.
just a 4, leaving me with plus 4. And then we'll subtract, and can anything happen at the end? No, absolutely nothing happens at the end. And so I'm left with 14 over 3b. Make a little bit of sense?
Yes.
But,
Chicken butt.
got me there.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have, this all was over 3b.
Yes.
But then, like, why it's now separated into b over 3 and 14 over 3.
Yep.
How does that happen?
Because we separated it into its individual pieces, right? So we took this one big problem, we broke it down into its individual pieces of fractions with the same denominator, and then I simplified.
And then that's just your answer.
And this is my answer. This is my final answer. So understand that while this might not feel like it makes a lot of sense right now, right? We are setting you up for the ability to do more later, right? So this in and of itself is not always a very useful tool. But later on, as we move into more complicated maths, this becomes a relatively useful thing to be able to do.
Wait, so if you didn't break it up, what would the answer be?
If I didn't break it up, it would be what I highlighted at the very beginning. If you don't break it up, there's nothing you can do. Well, there is another way to do it, but we're not going to get into that until Algebra 2. Okay, so for our purposes, you have to break it up, and you have to reduce. That is the process we're asking you to do. Does that make sense? Think we can handle this? Do we need one more?
No.
Okay. Your homework then. Well, not cool. There we go. Your homework then is on page 708. And I'm asking you to do numbers 1 through 3, and then 12 through 17. I have also assigned, and this will be due next Friday. However, the whole reason I've given it to you is a review, right? Part of the review for getting ready for the test. You also have a new Delta math assignment, and it's called Polynomials 2. All right? So in Delta Math, you have a new assignment. It's a review of sort of most of the things that we've done so far. There's no division on there, but the division homework is on page 708. All right, get busy.